All right, good morning, everybody. Not feeling so positive today. I didn't know if I should disclose this or not, but the park that I live in doesn't want me to have the fucking chickens. And I did go into this knowing that this could happen, so it's not like it's a big fucking surprise, but it is. I can't help it. It is irritating. Because the setup that I have is not hurting anybody. Nobody even knew they were there. So it's not bothering anybody. They have not received a complaint. This is just something they happen to notice. And you know what it is they got a set of rules and they don't care. They don't care if it's not bothering anybody. They don't care if it's being maintained well. They don't care. You know what they care? They care that they have a lease and they've got rules they can maintain. Not about the fact that we're people and we have lives and we are getting along in that park. Everybody is, I don't know how many complaints they actually receive, but I don't know. Nobody fixes anything. Nobody does anything. Yards are shit looking. You know, and I have one of the best looking yards in there. I don't get any credit for that. There's no, hey, thanks for maintaining shit and making your yard look good for us. No, you got chickens that nobody notices. So we're going to send a complaint. All right. I'm going to quit bitching about it. Because, like I said, I knew this could happen. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to handle it. Oh, I know. Is it really what I'm going to do? Because I halfway wanted to just let this all go to court and see how far they're willing to take it. But, you know, when people are right, whether or not it's morally correct, they don't care. They hide behind their paperwork. So this will all end, I'm sure, on their end with me either being evicted or getting rid of my chickens. One or the other. And if I cause a bunch of ruckus, there's other things that are going on in that park that are against the rules. But I ain't looking to ruin everything for everybody because I'm not like that. So initially I was going to have a meeting with them and try to reason with them, but I don't know if that's a good way because then I'm drawing all kinds of attention to myself. So it's probably not the way to go. So I'm going to handle it a different way, which I'm not going to disclose on here. Sorry. And it's just irritating because I'm also behind in rent. I'm not happy about that. And the only thing that changed in that regard is I seen the paperwork. You know, I have an agreement. They're not going back on it or anything like that. It was a bunch of paperwork at once. And the rent part is under control. And they're being reasonable for now. I doubt it'll stay that way because there's all kinds of freaking late fees and shit that, dude, I don't know. We're living in a mobile home park because we don't make a ton of money. So when you start getting behind a rent because whatever is happening in your life, they make it impossible to get caught back up. And then they can't understand why you're not caught back up. Whatever. They do what they want. And all I can do is pay the fucking bill in the end. And it's really hard to stay positive when people are just being assholes because they can. No other reason. I didn't do anything to them. I've been paying to the agreed terms. Chickens didn't cause any problems. They are well maintained. It's just stupid, is what it is. But they're God, so I have no other choice. Because I like where I live, and this isn't a matter of just breaking rent and moving. I own the wonderful trailer that is on the location, and it isn't so easy to just decide one day you're gonna move. Whatever. No matter what you do, people are always going to put you in your place. Whether you deserve that place or not. Moving on. It's just hard to stay positive. And I need to stay positive. Because this is the kind of shit that can bring a person down. And I come down here, and this is my favorite boat landing that has looked the same pretty much since I've been a kid. And now they're closing it down because they're going to do some work on this area. And I'm sure put a bunch of shit in that nobody really even wants, because people come down here because it's more primitive than the other places. It's still a wide open area with not much other than blacktop and a few picnic tables. And I'm sure that's not the way it'll stay. The wonderful people that run this community have decided that we need some ridiculous, who knows, and then it'll probably cost money to come down here. It's how the world gets. This podcast I listen to. Dude, when I first started listening to it, they were grateful for their $2 donation. Now you can't even get the same access for $10. How's that for inflation? But the podcast itself is free, but of course, they've got more exclusive content that you used to be able to access for $2. Now it's $10. Donation. Fucking donation if you gotta pay to get content. Then they're forcing you to pay. Or you don't see, which is the way the world is. We can't just double the price. We gotta frickin' quadruple it? Whatever. It is what it is. Everybody's got to make money, I guess. Except me. Well, I can't complain about my jobs for once. Honestly. There's so much in my life that's great. And that's what I got to focus on. With or without the chickens, my home is pretty amazing. I think. It's mine. It's what matters. Not that it right now means much to me, because if I can't keep the chickens, I wonder. The fuck's the point? My question is if we're all getting along in there and the chickens aren't actually causing any damage, what fucking difference does it make if they're there or not? If there were complaints, I could understand. But there's not. In fact, I think the people right around me would agree that they'd rather have the chickens there because they eat nasty shit, like ticks, for example. Oh my God. See? This is the kind of shit. And now I'm going to ruminate over it because it's just so frustrating. All right, I'm closing in on 10 minutes again. I can't even remember what the podcast was about right now, because I had a lot of insight on that too. I can't even remember. So I guess I've said enough. I didn't really mean to do 10 minutes worth of whining about my chickens, but it's disappointing how people can't be more compassionate to each other. It really is. That'll pass.